Ladies and gentlemen, the Nintendo Switch has so many amazing games. There's truly a game for everybody, but one of the worst things about the Switch is the price of games. I mean, there's games that have came out 4 years ago that are still full price by Nintendo. What if we can get those full price games? And I'm talking about any game. Tears of the Kingdom, Super Mario Odyssey, anything like that. What if we can get those for absolutely free? Well, that might just be a possibility, so let's go ahead and get right into this video.
I'm you, but just a little bit more handsome. I guess you got a point for free Switch. I think you might have some.
Free Switch games? Who doesn't like that? You would be hard pressed to find anybody on this planet. And if they don't like free Switch games, then you probably can't trust those people, right? You may say, well, Mr. Robot Joe, isn't Fortnite and Apex and Fall Guys and stuff like that technically free? And to that, I would have to say,
you sure about that? You sure about that?
You've kind of got a point. But I'm talking about real Switch games that you have to go to the store or go on the eShop and actually purchase. So if you've had your Switch for at least a few days, then there's a good chance you've probably purchased a game. And when you have purchased that game, you've got something called Nintendo Gold in return. It's kind of like a buyer's reward program, you know? You buy something, they give you a little bit back. And you may think, well, yeah, that's only possible one way. Buying something through the eShop. But it turns out you can get that gold a bunch of different ways. And that gold adds up, and you can use that for any Switch game that you want. So quickly, let me show you a couple ways that this is possible. First, by buying something through the eShop. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we know we can go on the eShop, right? And we can pick any game. The only reason I'm picking this game is because it looks kind of cool and it's only 20 cents. And when we're about to purchase it, you can see right there that it's eligible for a 1 gold back. That gold is something that you can use later to buy a Switch game. See, right now I can actually go up here and I can press redeem. And this is gold I've already got from previous games. So I'm going to use that now, and now I'm getting this game absolutely for free. Okay, but we know about the eShop. But if you're like me, I just can't let go of physical media. As long as physical games are out there, I'm going to purchase them that way and that way exclusively. And you may think, well, yeah, unfortunately, when you buy physical Switch games, you just can't get that gold in return. But that's where you would be wrong. So there is a caveat to this working. I need to mention that this will only work if the Nintendo Switch game was released in the last 12 months. So if you put Super Mario Odyssey or Breath of the Wild or something like that in, this would not work. This game, I believe, came out in March or something, so this is definitely going to work and be in that threshold. And the process to make this work is very simple. We just put the physical cartridge in, and once the cartridge is in, you press start, go to My Nintendo Rewards program, earn gold points. It's going to verify that this was released in the last 12 months. And then as you can see, it's going to reward me like I bought this on the eShop. Pretty neat, right? So now that we know that we can get it from the eShop and physical Switch games, is there any other way to get this? And the answer is yes. So there's a good chance that once you beat an amazing game, you're going to want to purchase DLC for that game. And who doesn't love some good DLC, right? It takes that adventure you just went on and takes it to the next level and expands the world and the stories and the gameplay, and it just adds on to the great adventure you already went on and makes it that much better. For instance, this is what I did with Breath of the Wild. I beat Breath of the Wild 3 or maybe 4 times before I finally purchased the DLC. And once I purchased it, I wish I would have done it sooner. But I realized once I purchased that DLC, I actually earned gold for purchasing that DLC. So not only did I get gold for purchasing the game, I got gold for purchasing the DLC for that game. And I think that's great. So if you use your Switch often, you probably know about this next thing. But if you don't, or you're new to the Switch, then you probably need to know about the Nintendo Voucher program. And when we talk about brand new Switch games, they're normally $60 and sometimes $70. But what if you could get those games for $50 every single time and earn gold on that? That's where the Nintendo Voucher program comes in. The Nintendo Voucher program costs $100. In exchange for that $100 voucher, you get 2 first-party Switch games. So you're essentially spending $100 up front and getting like $120 or $130 in games back in return. And when you purchase that voucher, you also get Nintendo Gold. So this is something you should definitely be utilizing, especially if you're buying Switch games every month, like me and everybody else. So let's just do the math real quick, right? If you buy a new Switch game at least twice a month, and that's on the conservative end, I know there's people out there who are buying Switch games every single week, multiple times a week. But let's just say twice a week. And then you're buying some DLC every couple months. And then you're buying some great Switch games on sale on those eShop sales. By the end of the year, you'll probably be able to afford 2 brand new Switch games, first party Switch games like Zelda or Mario, whatever you want, absolutely free. This is information you need to know. And you may say, yeah, I knew all of this already. Well, congratulations. I'm very happy for you. But you'd be surprised there's tons of people who don't know this information at all, and that's why I'm making this video for. One of my favorite things to do is save you guys money on Switch games. That's why I make eShop videos all the time. And what's better than getting a discounted Switch game? What about a free Switch game? It doesn't get much better than that. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about all this? Did you already know this information? Let me know down below. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram if you could. I'd really appreciate a follow. And I just want to say thank you so much for all the support. We're getting very, very close to 9,000 subscribers. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. And you guys know me. I'll see you soon with a new video. Peace out.